What's up everybody, my name is Lorance with East Coast Tone, and today we're going to learn how to restring a Strat with vintage hardware. I've done a lot of these over my career as a tech, and I just wanted to share some tips on proper installation. Let's get to it. A quick thing about vintage tuners, notice all of these machine heads are notched on top. That's because vintage tuners are top loading, which means the end of the string is inserted into the tuner itself. After a few clockwise turns with your peg winder, the string will just pop out of the top. Make sure to untuck the string from the string tree instead of just trying to pull it through, to avoid damaging your headstock's finish. Next, you're going to want to cut the wound ends off of the strings, as these can get tangled together easily while trying to remove the strings from the body. Use a standard Phillips head to remove the backplate screws and gain access to the spring cavity underneath your bridge. From here, you can push your strings gently through the holes and remove them fully. It's always good practice to give your instruments a good wipe down, if not a detailed cleaning, before working past this point. A clean guitar is a happy guitar. This detail is often overlooked, but make sure to unwrap your strings carefully so you don't kink them before installation. After a few winds, they should just spring open. Take a look at the underside of your bridge, aka the block. The string holes will be large and bored all the way through the block, allowing you to push them up through the saddles. The spring holes, however, will be much smaller and are only deep enough to fit the hook end of a tremolo spring. These won't do you much good here. Feed the strings through the bridge until the ball ends lock into place inside the block. Now let's work with these guys, vintage tuners. Each string is installed in order just like they came out, into the top of the machine head. You'll need to cut each string to the appropriate length in order to get at least 2 to 3 wraps around the post for optimum tuning stability. Make sure you're winding counterclockwise and that the string is coiling underneath itself. A trick to finding where to cut the string off is to measure out to the next 2 machine heads in front of the one the string will go in. This will generally give you at least 2 solid wraps around the post. Be careful not to undercut your string here because you can't get that length back. Repeat these steps for the rest of the strings, and don't forget to use your string trees. But what about the last 2 strings? I always like to use the top of a headstock as a guide for the B string, and it's perfectly acceptable to use your judgment for the high E. Overcutting a little bit here is never frowned upon. Don't forget to put your backplate back on. Give your strings a tune to make sure they're nice and secure. Finally, stretch your strings firmly and evenly across the length of your fretboard, so your fret strings will hold pitch better. After about 2 passes per string, you're ready to tune up and start jamming.